There's a lot of talk about the show 13 Reasons Why. I watched it, and I allowed my daughter to watch it. My father, as I said before, died by suicide. The show depicts the truth of what really goes on. There may be some things in the show that are a little far-fetched, that may or may not be a tad bit harmful to someone. Could be a trigger. But my opinion, and this is my opinion, this does not mean anybody has to agree with me. I feel 13 Reasons Why is more helpful than harmful. It depicts the truth. This happens. Bullying can lead to suicide. Some feel it won't. I, on the other hand, know firsthand what bullying leads to and what it can do. So this show, 13 Reasons Why, yes, it's hard to watch. Yes, there's things in it that maybe parents wouldn't want their children to see. But I feel this shows what happens. That it is telling people the truth, regardless of what it's about or not. It's true. What this girl goes through in this show is true. This happens in real life. It's just not videotaped in real life. It may be a show, but there's people in the real world that have gone through this, and I feel that they've done a good job, for the most part, of depicting what goes on in something like this. I'm losing my words. See, I gotta tread lightly because I don't mind being judged, because it's just my opinion, but I'm just trying to be careful. So, patience. Suicide happens. Teen suicide is rising because of these reasons that are in this show, plus many more. What they show in 13 Reasons Why is showing people what their words can do to someone, what their actions can do to someone, and how they can make someone feel. They might not think at the time they're doing damage, but really, they are. Some people are saying that the show is... they don't like it. They think it's harmful. Some are saying that it is telling people that it's an okay thing to do. That's not what the show is saying. The show is trying to show people what bullying can do, what words can do, what hurtful actions can do to somebody. You can't just always ignore it, as much as people want to say ignore it. It's hard. It's really hard. If I could videotape and make a movie out of my father's death. I would. Because I feel the truth is what's needed to make changes. I feel this show, 13 Reasons Why, was a step in the right direction to get people to notice what really happens. I've been through this. I myself have felt this way over words, hurtful words, actions, people. People and words hurt other people. And in this show, that's what's being told. They want to show people what's happening, how it's happening, and what can come from all of this. Anybody that has not experienced this doesn't really know all the ins and outs. Anybody that has not experienced a suicide, the show would scare them. Some people don't realize that this really happens, and some people don't realize that it's happening a lot with teenagers. So to end my rant or my story, all I want to say is be nice, be kind, don't judge, don't form your opinion on someone else's opinion. What people are wearing doesn't matter. How much money they have doesn't matter. Anybody needs to remember is that we all have to live in this world, and the only way that it's going to get any better is if we get along. We were born, every one of us was born to have a different opinion. Nobody was meant to agree with each other, but it doesn't mean you fight. You can have a difference of opinion and still move on and get along. I have difference of opinions with a lot of people, but I still love them, and they're still my friends, and they're still my family. We weren't made to agree with everybody. That's diversity. That's the world. Who cares if you're gay? Who cares if you're a lesbian? Who cares if you're transgender? You're a person, and you deserve to be loved. So these bullies need to take a step back and realize what their words are doing and their actions. Stop being violent. Stop causing fights. If you have an issue, discuss it. Ask. Ask a question. Hey, I heard this. Is it true? They're either going to tell you yes or no. Don't take that rumor and post it and make it worse. What's the point? If you hear something, it means you heard it. It doesn't mean you saw it. It means you heard it. Bullying isn't always physical either. Something does have to be done. These kids do need more resilience. Yes, I agree. But the bullies need to stop. If you can't say something nice, then don't say it. Bottom line, I want my children to be happy and smile again. And I'm the only one that can fix this. Please. Thank you for helping me. I hope everybody sees my point. I'm not trying to call people out, and I'm not trying to be a yapper. I don't know how to put it, but if you're going to bully, there's going to be consequences. There needs to be stiffer ones with the law. I'm not saying fight. I'm not saying if you're bullied, go fight. I'm saying it's escalating and turning into fights because nothing's being done. When you tell the authorities, we can't do anything because of their age. Yes, you can. You take it to the parents. Get the parents to talk. Because I know if my daughter was doing this to somebody, I'd be having a talk with her. And she wouldn't be doing it anymore. So all I'm saying is, why can't you just leave the kids alone? There's no need of bullying. You know, picking and teasing is one thing, but to do it for 2 years and cause someone to leave school and then deny it when there's proof? Like, I had no help in dealing with this for 2 years. They were allowed to throw lit firecrackers in her hair. They were allowed to throw rocks at her walking home from school. They were allowed to post stuff online about her. They were allowed to call her names. Who's the one laying with her at night in bed when she's crying? I am, not them. They're still out tormenting. They spray paint businesses in town and get away with it because of their age. There's just so many things that aren't being dealt with that I think needs to be looked at. And I think if just because you're 14 or 15, if you guys are old enough to be doing this, then you're old enough to get in trouble for it. So I think if the law would deal with these bullies better, there wouldn't be any fighting. It wouldn't escalate into a big brawl because the victims wouldn't be so frustrated. Right now, the victims are so frustrated, half of them don't want to leave their homes. And what do we do? Because us as parents want to protect our kids. So, bottom line, my family's been extremely affected by bullying. Again, my kids are homeschooled. I will not put them back in. I want to see stiffer consequences for people's words. You can get over being punched in the face. You can't get over being lied about and having rumors spread about you. That's hard to get back up from. I can't stress it enough. Sorry. I can't stress it enough that bullying leads to much more serious issues, and it needs to be dealt with. It needs to stop. Go to the parents, deal with it. Don't shrug it off like it's drama and foolish childishness, because it escalates. It escalates into a big fight. But then when the bullies get away with it, the victims are even more frustrated, because here the victims stood up to them but got in trouble for doing it. So where do we stand as frustrated parents and even more frustrated kids? How do we fix this? How do we make our town down here better? How do we have it so it's not being tormented, spray painted, things being broken, trashed? They're just getting away with it all. So bottom line is there needs to be stiffer punishments for not just physical actions, but for words also. And again, the 13 Reasons Why, I think it's helpful. Some may think it's harmful, but from someone who has experienced a suicide in her family, I think that this show can help people. I think it puts the truth out there as to what really goes on, and I think it can help erase the stigma. I really, really hope people hear me, and we don't need any more suicides. We need to fix this. I've been working for 3 years to make changes and to get mental health as part of curriculum in the schools, and come this September, mental health will be in the schools as curriculum. I don't just sit. I just want to help these kids, these victims who feel they don't have a voice. So I am the voice for these victims today. And the bullying needs to stop. If you don't have a nice word, don't say it. But I know deep down inside these bullies, they have something nice to say. They're just scared to say it. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hope everybody listens and things get better. And I just hope that we can all get along and make society better for our kids, because they have to grow up here. We're adults. We can suck it up. But these kids are growing up in this society, and it's not fair to them because they don't understand why the bullies are getting away with so much. So, just my word of advice. If you see somebody on the street, maybe you don't like what they look like, but maybe there's something about you that they don't like either. They're just not saying it. Just remember that your words hurt. And 9 times out of 10, your words will hurt more than physical actions. Keep your hands to yourself. Be nice, be kind, be helpful. Instead of being mean, if you notice that someone may be down or upset, ask them if they're okay. Don't make fun of them. Ask them if they're okay and if they need to talk. Sometimes somebody just needs a friend. Even a bully. Maybe they just need a friend. So if you, to the victims out there, if you're being bullied, ask the person bullying you if they need to talk or if there's something that's wrong. Because maybe they're taking their frustrations out on someone. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it's very possible that the person bullying has some underlying issues and they're just venting them out. I love everybody. I will help anybody I can. And I just want to make things better for our kids. Thank you.